So in addition to direct malware attacks and phishing attacks, there are also risk factors for mobile surrounding the operating system and vulnerabilities that it has, and the millions of applications that are available to be installed on a device at any time. Singularity Mobile offers methodologies for securing both of those aspects at the operating system level and at the application level. Let's take a look at the OS level first. We have two views that we can see here in the OS risk area of the management console. We have a CVE specific view, which is handy for looking for a specific vulnerability and determining your exposure. So we have a remote code execution, one of the worst types of CVEs, CVE 3518. We can click on it and review the specific NIST documentation. But more importantly, we can see that we have 24 devices, and of those 24 devices, 21 have an OS upgrade available to us. So for us, we could take a look at this and posit that we could simply upgrade these 21 devices and remove the CVE vulnerability. And for the other 3 devices, we could either put them into a more restrictive policy group that locks them down a little bit tighter, or if they're so old that they simply can't receive updates anymore, we could consider replacing them given the severity of the CVE. Now, rather than take a look at specific vulnerabilities, if you want to look more broad spectrum, we can come over here to OS versions, and then I'm going to simply sort by device count, and this gives me a bang for my buck view. So for example, we have 11 devices currently on Android 8, and there are 1,463 CVEs associated with Android 8. But if we look, of those 11 devices, 11 are upgradable. So simply to resolve a majority of these CVEs, I just need to implement a better upgrade policy than I currently have. And we can either control that using Singularity Mobile by setting up an MDM policy where when we see a version like this that's old, we force it to upgrade, or we instruct the end user like we do on the for the mobile app that their OS is out of date and they should issue the upgrade. It depends a little bit on the type of infrastructure that you have. If it's BYOD, typically you give the users a little bit more freedom. If it's corporate-owned devices, you can typically mandate it a little bit more. Now the other area outside of operating system is application vulnerability. And this is an area that is unique to Singularity Mobile. We will go through and take any application that is consumed by a mobile device, and we will perform a thorough analysis on it. So we'll actually dynamically look at that application and then give you recommendations on whether or not we feel the application is legitimate. So for example, if I filter by malicious applications, we can see a couple of apps here. Here's one by Big Leap that we've marked as malicious. And if I come over here, we have a couple of reports that we can take a look at. The executive report is one designed for executives. It's much more high level, but it will instruct you on why we feel like this application is malicious. In this case, our Z9 engine detected that this actually contains malware packaged inside of the application, and so therefore we shouldn't allow it to execute in the environment. And then we have a more technical breakdown right here in the technical PDF report that will go into a much deeper depth as to why we feel like this is malware, and even go into aspects of the analysis like checking for proper SSL inspection, what URLs it communicates with, and how. So you can see this is a very extensive report. This one is 16 pages long that go into great depth as to why this application we feel is malicious. And it's not just for those reports aren't just for malicious applications. We can check on legitimate applications as well. I myself have run into Android applications. I have one for a thermometer for my barbecue that anytime I open up the application, it says the application won't run unless it has access to my locations, to my microphone, and to my camera. That's simply too permissive for a simple thermometer application. So those types of applications will report to you even though they are legitimate and they don't have malware embedded in them. You can simply go through the reports that Singularity Mobile provides to you and then make a decision on whether or not you want to allow that application in your environment and either restrict it via MDM or some other method. Thank you for taking the time to watch this quick demonstration of Singularity Mobile. If you have any additional questions or would like to learn more about Singularity Mobile, please reach out to your SentinelOne sales team.